Alright, we're entering turn 5 of our playthrough. It is the 1:30 p.m. turn of December 10th. The Soviet player gets one of their two 7 strength off-map artillery back. We're going to reset the fired artillery, mortar, and infantry gun units and enter our action phase. Well, since this is such an unusual take on this scenario, I figured we'd continue along the same vein and continue to have some fun with it and experiment. We're going to switch our focus from these village hexes, at least for now, to the Finnish supply source via lieu. We know that these units in lieu are having some trouble recovering, but they're still 4 more hexes away from all Soviet units. If we can, however, manage to advance into this hex, this combat phase, we would be able to start denying them of that positive die roll modifier. So we're going to move units into this hex and attack these 3 Finnish units, consisting of a full strength machine gun unit, full strength bicycle company, and this reduced strength provisional infantry company. Alright, so we'll move up a machine gun unit, 1, 2, 3, and we want to leave this hex pretty strong. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. And there are 2 reduced infantry companies here. There's a full battalion for now. Let's see what else we can do. There's a reduced infantry company here as well. Move it over 1, 2, 3. We'll bring some infantry companies forward. 1, 2. Let's bring a machine gun unit from the gravel pits up to the bridge, as well as an infantry company. We'll go ahead and move this infantry company forward. 1, 2, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. We'll attempt to recover this unit. Get a +1 for being 4 more hexes away. Oh, reroll a 6, and that unit recovers. Over here, I think I'll move a couple of these infantry companies over here, 1.5, 4.5. And we'll bring 1 up to Sarola. So after thinning out the island a bit, bringing units forward, spreading them out along these objectives, we are going to finally think about doing something over here, or we may just leave those units as they are. I'm not certain yet, and then reevaluate the position of these infantry gun and mortar units so that they can offer support in this combat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Too far away for the mortar unit, so we'll move these 1, 2. And finally, we're going to move this machine gun unit forward along the secondary road for 3 movement points. So time to resolve combat, and we're attacking with, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 19 plus 5, 10, 13, 17. So that's 36 plus 4. 40 plus 10, 50. and they're defending with 2 plus 6 is 8 plus 4 is 12, so that's 4 to 1. We're going to declare offensive support, and this provisional infantry company as well as this bicycle company each count as an infantry company and gain you a die roll modifier on the ranged attack table when targeting that hex. So we're at 4 to 1. We have these 5 strength mortar units, 3 of them in range. So we'll throw those in. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'll go ahead and declare all of our infantry gun and mortar units, and then maybe an off-map artillery unit and this heavy artillery battalion. And so there's no negative die roll modifier for dawn, fog, or dusk, or night. Defensive support, well, they fired all their mortars during their combat phase last turn. They have 3 points of ammo. And let's see, they can target one of these. It'll be on a ranged attack strength of 2 plus 3 would be 5. They'd have to roll a 9 to suppress. A 9 to suppress. And we both sides gain 6 points of ammo on the dawn turn of December 11th. I think they'll go all in and declare 3 of their off-map artillery units. Okay, so we'll go ahead and resolve. Starting with the units down here, we have, let's see, 3 mortar units, 3 infantry guns. We'll roll for the mortars first. 5, 6, 7. Rolling 2d6. First roll is an 8. Suppress. Second roll is a 5. No effect. Third roll, a 3. No effect. Now the infantry gun units. 3 plus 2 is 5. Whoops. An 8. No effect. Second roll. 4, and finally an 8. No effect. So we got 1 suppress result, and we'll fire our off-map artillery, spending a point, dropping that to 4. 5 plus 2 is 7. And we roll a 7, another suppressed result. And this guy, 7 plus 2 is 9, plus 10, 19 is a suppressed, and 2 step reductions. Let's see, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And we get this back, let's see, in 3 turns on the dawn turn. Now we'll roll for the Finnish artillery units. Defensive support 1, 2, 3. Their ammo drops to 0 for now. We're going to target this hex, and let's 2 plus 3, 1 for each infantry company. First roll. Ooh, they roll a 12. 12 plus 5 is 17. Suppressed, so I'll get rid of one of these. And step reduction, we'll flip one of these. Second roll, 2 plus 3, same target. Wow, they roll an 11. This is crazy. Suppressed. Final roll. Oops. An 8. No effect. Okay, so we'll place these back off the board. So we're still at 4-1, and we get 1 right shift up to the 5-1, rolling 2d6. Oh, we roll an 11. Oh wow, okay. 0, 6. 0, 6. We'll take 2 losses as to this provisional infantry company machine gun unit. They're eliminated. And that leaves 4. 1, 2. 3, 4. Alright, let's see. We can advance into this hex. We'll bring this guy over so it's back on the road at least, and okay. Then we'll conduct a non-supporting ranged attack with this machine gun unit into this dug-in hex containing 1 infantry company, a machine gun unit. Get a +1 for the infantry company, a -1 for the dug-in marker. We're at 5. We roll a 7, nothing happens. Back to the Finns. We're gonna reset the mortar units and off-map artillery, although our Finnish ammo is now down to 0. And with that we enter our action phase, and I think what we're going to do is try to patch this up here, which means we probably don't have time to attempt recovery yet again. And it's time to bring Payari forward. So let's see. Can keep 1 guy back to hold the dug-in marker there. Probably bring our engineer platoon here to dig in maybe next turn if they can last that long. And now that Kodasari's not looking as dangerous, maybe we can think about moving units out of these dug-in village hexes up towards the center here. Maybe leave just a single unit in each of those to maintain the dug-in markers. I don't think we'll be conducting any combat this turn. infantry companies can make it all the way here from any of these village hexes, and of course from this hex. So let's see how we want to do this. Here and here. Let's see. Units from Lieu can make it here or here. Alright, so we'll bring machine gun unit over 3 movement points. And another one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can't quite make it there. Let's see. Let's bring an infantry company. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll attempt to recover this reduced infantry company, but we'll have to roll a 6. And we roll a 4. Let's see, let's move this infantry company out of this hex. Here. 1, 2, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. Alright, so now let's move some units out of Mokszycki. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll throw both of these in. And we'll move the engineer platoon over. And now let's bring Payari forward. He has a movement allowance of 7, provides a 1-column shift. You can make it to any of these hexes. Here, here, or here. Let's see. I'd pick here or here. Yeah, we'll bring them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Toward the village. And I may attempt to recover this bicycle company. He'll need to roll a 5 or a 6. Oh, we roll a 6. This one as well, but we'll need a 6. And we roll a 2. Move this here, here, and we'll pull these back. There. And finally, let's take a look here. What do we have? 6, 7, 8. Another 8. 2 to 1. I think we'll leave these guys here just to be a nuisance or distraction. Okay, so that ends the Finnish action phase, and we won't be conducting any combat. Yeah. Let's see here. Guess they'll conduct non-supporting ranged attack here. So that's 4 plus 1. It's 5. Roll a 6, nothing happens. Turn passes back to the Soviet player as we enter The dusk turn 3 p.m. line of sight drops to 2 hexes. And this is the last turn before our first night turn. So let's see what we want to do as a Soviet player. My assumption is to continue pushing here, making our way, either continue along towards Luchikamoki, or see if maybe we can make our way down to the village. Now we enter the Soviet reset phase and flip their fired infantry guns and mortars, as well as their fired off-map artillery. And we enter the action phase. Okay, so basically, I'm wondering if the smarter thing to do at this point, given what's happening on the board, if it would be to attack this Suo hex, as it would bring us that much closer to the village. We're almost there, almost able to access the village from 2 adjacent land hexes, and that would also allow us to continue along this main road, more or less, which is how we trace our supply. Or if we should stick to our new plan and just push along the secondary road, more or less, and make a straight shot to the Luchikamoki and the Finnish supply source. So I was trying to figure out how supply tracing would be handled in that situation, and if we could actually advance into these 2 hexes and make it along the secondary road to this main road hex. This is where this intersection. Then we'd actually be able to bypass this whole section of the main road, as long as we have a path of controlled hexes back to here and or here. So, given that, and given how we have a situation here where we can go for a concentric attack on this hex, which contains these 3 reduced Finnish units, I think the Soviet player may, we as the Soviet player may continue with our new plan after all. Okay, so first we're going to move this over 3 movement points. These 2 for 3 movement points. Move this over 1. One, 2. 1, 2. Okay, so that is 12, 22, 32, 35, 35 to 10. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. We'll pull that back to attempt recovery later. Let's see. 2 reduced units I think we'll pull back as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. I should bring this up 1 and let's see. 1, 2. 1, 2, 2.5. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we're going to enter the combat phase as this target is still within range of our mortars. we're at 40. They're defending with 10. 1 right shift for the concentric attack bonus, 1 left shift for the dug-in marker. We're going to declare offensive support. There's a +1 for each of the 2 infantry companies. -1 for the dug-in marker. Another -1 because it's a Dusk turn. That would be a -1 net. 5 -1 4 2. Alright, well, we'll declare offensive support with all of our mortars and infantry guns. The mortars, we'd have to roll a 10 to suppress. We're at 4-1, a 10. We receive another 6 points of ammo on the dawn turn, as well as all 3 of our artillery battalions, so why not? All in. And the Finnish player has 0 ammo, but let's see, they get a plus, I believe there are 2, 3. They can target this hex, get a +3, and then a -1 for Dusk. This is within range of all of their mortars. I think they're going to go all in with their mortars. We're going to resolve offensive support first. Starting with our off-map artillery. 1, 2, 3, dropping ammo down to 1. First roll, 2. Second roll, 10. Okay. So that is a suppressed. Final roll, 5. And our 3 mortar units. We also need a 10. First roll, second roll is an 11. Suppressed. Final roll, 6. No effect. And just because they're within range, the infantry guns, although we need to roll a 12 on those. 3 rolls, 6, 4, and 6. No effect. Okay. Defensive support. 4 + 2. Targeting this hex is 6. First roll. Ooh, 10. Suppressed. Second. 6. Last roll, 7. Okay, so that leaves us at 5-1. And we roll a 7, 0, 3. Alright, so 0, 3. First loss, elimination, while in supply. Second loss, retreat. Stack takes a hit. Another elimination while in supply. And third loss. Now we may advance to this hex. Let's see, another machine gun. And now we enter the Finnish half of the Dusk turn. Reset our mortars. And let's see what we can do. Well, first of all, we'll use our engineer platoon to dig in. And let's see if we can set ourselves up here for some night raiding next turn, because I'd like to show that, try it out. We would need a maximum of 3 full-strength Finnish infantry companies that are either stacked together or adjacent, and not in an enemy zone of control at the start of the next turn, the night turn. And then we'd pick a target that's at least 4 hexes away from all Finnish units. And preferably, we'd like those infantry companies to be with Pajari. So let's see what we can do here. Maybe from the village? Well, let's first attempt to recover this unit. Oh, we roll a 6. Nice. There's our 3rd full-strength infantry company. Now we just need to bring Pajari over there, which he can easily do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example. 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, let's bring this bicycle company up. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2. 4. Okay. We'll attempt recovery here. 5, close. And that'll end the Finnish turn. We're skipping combat, entering our first night turn. It's 4:30 p.m. Line of sight is 1 hex. And I guess at this point I should briefly describe the additional actions that are available to you on these turns. You can move using double your movement allowance as long as your unit does not begin the phase in an enemy zone of control. All of this is written on the sequence of play. Or as a Soviet player, you can build a bonfire and or attempt recovery. And as a Finnish player, you can conduct a night raid with full-strength Finnish infantry companies. So we are going to reset our mortars and infantry guns as well as our off-map artillery and enter the action phase. I'm going to grab these markers, these bonfire markers. And you're not limited by the counter mix when building bonfires, unlike the Duggan markers. They're double-sided. The Finnish player will use this during night turns to place on stacks units that have performed an assault, combat, or night raid. Units that have conducted a night raid, though, get this special black Sub-Zero Lost Table marker, which means that each unit that performed the night raid must roll on the Sub-Zero Lost Table. Otherwise, you place this and you roll once per stack. So basically, build bonfires as a Soviet player to avoid having to roll on the Sub-Zero Lost Table for that stack. The Sub-Zero Lost Table is over here. And you roll 1d6 on 3 or less, that stack suffers a step reduction. Stacks on frozen lakes get a -1 die roll modifier. Finnish stacks that have to roll here get a +1. So if you're not on a frozen lake hex and you don't have a bonfire, as a Soviet player you have to roll once, and there's a 50-50 chance that stack must suffer a step reduction. On the other hand, the trade-off is that These provide the Finnish player positive die roll modifiers on the Finnish Night Raid table. So the AT units down here are gonna build some fires here as well. So we have to be 4 or more hexes away from all enemy units. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to reallocate these markers over here and then use something else. And we may also attempt recovery, so we'll do so with these 3 units. +1. We roll 1, 6, 1, 4, and 1, 1. So 1 successfully recovers. And now let's see what's going on over here. I think we're going to target this hex if we can during combat. And we'll continue to push along here. One, 2, 3. We'll leave these 2 here, and what do we have here? One and a half, 2, 3.5. Okay, we're at 35, so 1, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5. I'd like to move my mortars around here so it's within range of the target hex, but I don't think it's worth it to have to roll on the Sub-Zero loss table and to inflict a suppressed result. We'd have to roll a 9 on those anyway, so that'll end the Soviet action phase. We're entering the combat phase. We're at 4-1 here, and no offensive support. Maybe this one. And we'll resolve that, dropping our ammo to 0. 5 plus 2, 1 for each infantry company, minus 2. And we roll a 7, no effect. Defensive support, mortars. And they're targeting there are 3 infantry companies there, 1, 2, 3 here as well. I guess the one with 1 reduced infantry company. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all within range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 plus 3 minus 1 is 6, minus 2 is 5. Alright, 4 plus 3 minus 2. First roll, 8, no effect. Second roll, 7, no effect. Final roll, they get a 9, that is a suppressed result. Three to 1, and we roll a 5, 1, 0. Line of sight is 1 hex. There'll be no non-supporting ranged attacks. And with that, we enter the Finnish half of the night turn. And let's conduct a night raid. Who should we target? So we're looking for a hex, preferably with a bonfire marker that takes 7 or fewer movement points to get to by all raiding units. These 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for example. 6. The hotel, this hex, this hex. So I'm thinking this, this, or this. The hotel is currently being occupied by an AT unit, an infantry company. They're dug in. They can ignore the first step loss. On the other hand, here we have 2 reduced infantry companies. I would go for either this or this. The entire route can be traced via frozen lake hexes. And, yeah. Okay, so there's 10 here and 11 here. There are 3 units there. Maybe I'll go for this one. What do we have? We're at 15. Yeah. Let's go for this hex. Okay, so that's our target. And we're gonna take 1 die, and we get +2 for Priori, +2 for the bonfire, +1 for route to target, +1 for entire route to target. We roll a 5, and that is 9 or more. The attack gets 5 right shifts. We were at 1 to 1, so that's 6 to 1. And they roll a 9, 0, 5. All step losses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eliminated. Eligible for reconstitution. We do, however, have to mark our Finnish units. Where'd it go? It's probably good. Oh, here it is. I'll replace that with this marker and just put it there. I just realized that I, in my excitement to conduct the night raid, forgot to reset the Finnish mortars. Okay. And now we can see what else we want to do with the other units. I think I might attempt recovery with this unit in lieu. We'll need to roll a 6, a 5. I might move these units out now that there are fewer units around it. 1, 2, 3. And another thing that you can do during night turns is dig in on a single turn, even if you're in an enemy zone of control. So we have 3 Finnish dug-in markers left, so I'll go ahead and place those where I think I might need them. Now, as the Finnish player will be receiving a couple more reinforcements on the late morning turn of this December 11th, and then a whole load of them on the last turn of the scenario, the Dusk turn. Beginning the next turn, we can also declare a change of operational stance and actually get to go immediately again right after we finish the Sub-Zero loss phase. So that'll end the Finnish half of the night turn. We're going to enter the Sub-Zero loss phase and roll a die for each of these Soviet stacks that doesn't have a bonfire marker. Starting here. 2. Was it 1, 2, 3 is a step reduction. Here. 5, 3, 2, 4, 1. Oops. 3. Is this the Finnish steamroller? 1. 5. Kodasari. 5. 3. 5, 6. Whew. Now for the Finnish units that conducted this night raid, of which there are 3 infantry companies. We roll once for each. 4, 5, and 5. And then they also get a +1, so they're all just fine. That ends our night turn. That ends our first day, day 3, December 10th.